Hang in there. Okay, so Holy Food series, and we're going to start now, and we're going to explore the metaphysics of DNA healing, right? When we look at when we talk about DNA, we're going to look at many interesting aspects of our makeup of our human system, which goes right to the molecular structure, right up to the DNA level, and I'm trying to keep it as simple as we can, so that I'm not going to present you with a lot of jargon and medical jargon, and so that a layman could understand, and in that process appreciate his body and help himself, with the awareness that he's going to have today. Yeah. The other important thing is, do not believe anything that I say. You got to experience it for yourself. And this workshop, as much as there's a lot of knowledge to be shared, but we will try to make it as experiential as possible, so that you can take it and use it right away to bring about a subtle shift in your healing and your wellness. Okay, so let's start. Yeah. Right. Just a brief about me. I am a naturopathic physician and a nutritional coach, and a hypnotherapist, and I'm into psychotherapy. So I've been practicing this for the last since 2005, and 20 years of experience. In 2005, I set up my practice in Singapore, but before that, I was practicing in Sydney, Australia. Got trained in Australia and St. Miguel's in Montreal, and also in Chicago. I did some training in stress management, and did a bit of stint there as well. In my clinic, which is called the Naturopathic Therapies Clinic, I provide remedial solutions to illness and disruptive emotions. Practically, we cover the main areas of our focus has been on pain, metabolic disorders, skin challenges, cancers, and of course, stress. Yeah. If we need help and our support, and we need a holistic perspective of how to manage any challenge that you may have, or if your loved one has got any of those challenges, you can always call us, WhatsApp us, and also look at our website and have an idea of what we are doing at our clinic. And I'm sure most of you all have come and seen me in my practice, so you're quite familiar with what I do, but just wanted to briefly tell you about myself. Good. And today, we're going to look at the energy and its dynamics, how energy interacts with our cells, and how we can appreciate it and what we can do about it. The energy signaling and telomere. This is about the DNA structure and how the signals are taking place that interacts with our cellular system, and in that process brings about all the improvements we are going to experience in our life. Yeah. So, yeah. A moment. And then we are also going to look at the subtle signs of healing, how the body is healing itself, and how our mind influences our healing, and how quickly we heal or how slowly we heal is always dependent on what we perceive as healing. Yeah, I will talk about that, and then we'll talk about the 5 systemic foods that help with healing. Okay, so we're going to look at 5 systems in our body, and as we do, we will be exploring how these foods interact in our body and support us. And then we're going to talk extensively about fasting as well. So that's going to be the energy exercise and experience, and it is like a system that you can actually take home with you, and you can put it into practice right away as well. Yeah. So we're going to look at a particular type of fasting methods, and I will go into that towards the end. Okay. The important thing that we need to also understand now is the subtle organizing energy field. Okay, subtle organizing energy field is about the energy field that is descending, you know, as subtle energy into that becomes a material form. It is about how it is organized, and it takes a shape. Yeah. So that energy that is the premise that we are going to operate from is energy is abundantly all around us. It is inside us, it is outside us. Yeah. This energy is called universal energy. It is this energy just waiting to transform itself. This energy has got it goes through an interaction. Okay, it goes through an interaction where it is called the subtle organizing energy field. Okay, and from that interaction, that energy interacts with this field, and then it becomes whatever it has to become. So it becomes a fruit, it becomes a leaf, it becomes a flower, it becomes a frog, it becomes a baby and evolves into a human being. So all these things are taking place in our body. Yeah? And it's taking place in every system that is there, right? It's a constant process that is going on. And if you look at every matter, right, it is dynamic, right? Except for those matters that has been processed into something like a plastic chair, right? A plastic chair is not dynamic; it's a stagnant energy, right? Because it doesn't disintegrate. You know, even if you put out in the elements, it just be there in whatever form it is, or it is just broken down, you know, with wear and tear. But if you put a piece of metal outside in the element, right, it starts to degenerate, it rusts, and then eventually it becomes dust, right? Human beings also, you know, our body is evolving. We grow from our baby to become an adult, right? And we whatever that we have in our system is constantly evolving and is changing, is totally replaced in our body to the point where we don't have the same organs that we had 7 years ago, right? Everything is totally transforming our body, right? And some of these organs can be healed, and it can be regenerated and restored even within a shorter frame of time. We don't really need to wait for 7 years, but it can be done over a shorter frame of time. And I will talk about that when we discuss about liver later. Okay, so some interesting facts are there. Okay, so the universe draws a lot of energy from the sun. Okay, so you can take it as the universal consciousness, and the sun as the universal consciousness that is permeating everything in this world. When everything comes under the light, sunlight, you know, it gets illuminated, it becomes something, right? So it's like a quantum pot that is there. There's water, there's mind, there's constantly interacting. It starts to form into a substance. It becomes a material, becomes a matter. Okay, so that energy information is creatively processed. Then it goes into this consciousness, and then it becomes whatever that it has to become. Right. So the subtle organizing energy field is about anything that's becoming matter, the creative organization that's taking place to create form. Okay. Now, how does our body uses our energy? We got to understand this bit about the consciousness or the collective consciousness, which is interacting with our brain. Okay, we are talking about how we use it in our body. So it is constantly interacting from our consciousness to our brain, and this brain is taking all the signals that is also processed from experience, right? Whatever that we have experienced in our life, whatever we have learned, and whatever we believe, and whatever we assume. Our fears also interact with our consciousness, and they start to manifest whatever they are. Where is the body drawing the energies from? It is drawing it from the 5 elements. Okay, what are the 5 elements? If you look from the Chinese perspective and the Indian perspective, the Indian system, they're all totally, there's a slight variance into it. But we look at from the Indian system, we look at the fire, earth, water, air, and space, right? Fire, earth, water, air, and space. Okay. Now, when we look into this 5 element, fire, earth, water, they are they are something that you can perceive, right? You can see, you can feel, you can touch, right? You can sense it. Air, you can sense it, but you cannot see it. You know that it is there, it's abundantly there, but we cannot sense it. And all these elements, these four elements, fire, earth, water, and air, are elements that is contained within the space. And can you sense space? No, but everything is within that space, right? So all these elements are there. It is contained within the space. The greatest element that ever exists is space, right? So if your body, if you have enough space in yourself, mentally, emotionally, and physically, not as occupying space, you become big and you occupy space, but you know there's lesser clutter in your body. Okay, that means there's less toxins, there's less emotional baggage, there's less mental stress. What happens in that process is that you will start to have the maximum benefits by using the five elements to process and make whatever that you need to make for yourself for your highest good. Okay, and how these elements are processed in our body, they work through our five senses. What are our five senses? The sense of smell, the sense of sight, eyes, hearing, taste, and touch. So smell, right? Sight, our eyes, we are seeing, right? We are hearing, and then our taste, whatever that we put on our mouth, we can taste, and then our touch, right? That's why sometimes, you know, I used to do this where we talk about five senses. Like someone's having a conversation, you know, on the phone, but they say, I see, right? So they are visual people. They are receiving, they're perceiving the information through the sense of seeing. They can see, although they are hearing it, yeah. Or sometimes when you're smelling something and then you know, hey, something is happening somewhere, yeah. You can have this sense is heightened in yourself, right? For a variety of people, not all the senses are heightened. Only some senses are heightened in them. So it's either it could be a visual, they are more visual, they're auditory, they're kinesthetic. You know, so they're touch. You know, the signs I understand in these three aspects only: auditory, kinesthetic, that means you sense by touching, and then your sight, visual. Okay, you need to be shown. But then there are other two receptors. There are your taste and your smell. Okay, now when all these five senses are heightened, then you become you become more empowered. You know, you become more stronger. Your faculties start to function even better, and they will interact with your consciousness. You know, the interaction between your consciousness and your brain will be more pronounced, right? So the conscious interaction between the mind and the collective consciousness is how your body is constantly using it as energy. Okay, it's constantly using as energy to create, to move, to do all the things that it has to do. Okay, all the activities that you want to process and do is always done in that process. Okay, so when you eat a banana, you know, you are still yourself. Like when I eat a banana, I don't become a banana. You know, I don't grow bananas in my ears or anything like that. Yeah, but the banana is converted into my as energy in my body, my brain, with whatever the conscious information that is out there to help me and support me, is uses that energy from the banana to process it in my body. It is transformed as energy, and it supports whatever that is needed to be supported in my body. So you can eat a piece of steak, you won't become the cow or the pig. Yeah, you can eat a fish and chips, and you won't become a fish or a potato. Okay, it is all converted as energy. So your body is constantly using energy to support itself, right? Whatever that is matter, whatever that you eat, right, it is actually matter. It is only the energy is used by the body, but all the matters that you have is use is they are carrying the energy to your body, but the matters become waste. They just pass out as waste in your body. Okay, so DNA signal and your vitality. Okay, now if you look at that X sign that is there, that is a telomere. Okay, that is actually a chromosome. Okay, Now the red spots that it has there is called the telomere. Okay, it's like a tail end, the tail end of a chromosome. Okay, now for it has got to be balanced. Okay, in order for anything to happen in our human system, it has always got to be in a neutral space. It's got to be balanced. If it's off balance, what happens is that the neutral space do not signal properly. Okay, they cannot signal properly. So you look at my finger. Okay, so this space that I had there, now it is balanced. For a variety of reason, this one of the tail end goes shorter. Okay, then you'll find that one of it is signaling properly, the other cannot signal properly. So there's an attrition at the DNA level. When the attrition is taking place, that means the DNA starts to degenerate. It cannot signal properly. It contributes to all kinds of disease processes in the body because there's a cellular damage that's going to take place. And because the cell is getting damaged, right, you will find that the cell is now affecting the organs. The cells make up the organs, so the organs start to fail. When the organs start to fail, there's a whole host of challenges that are taking place in the human system. You start to express, and you feel depression, stress, right? So a variety of things starts to build up in your body, and it is cyclical. Okay, when you are stressed, prolonged stress, high levels of stress, and you're exposed to all kinds of stress, you become depressed. Okay, and that depression will start to actually affect your chromosomes. Your telomere becomes shorter and they cannot signal properly. The DNA challenges start to take place. So DNA attrition start to take place and it becomes a problem. Okay, so the stress is always contributing to it and becomes a vicious cycle that is always going, left and right and up and down, where it is affecting your body. It starts to form issues like inflammation. You end up with resistance. Your metabolic resistance, will start to affect you. You cannot process food effectively. Undigested food or nutrients are not being accepted in your body. Your mitochondrial health is affected. Dysregulated autonomic and neuroendocrine the activity, the functions of your endocrine glands, right? Your nervous system gets affected as well. You end up with autoimmune. That means your immune system, which is supposed to protect you, starts to work against you, and then it creates all kinds of problems. You end up with tumors. You end up with cancers, right? And so, what can we do? What can we do about this? Can we do something? Yes. Or what actually causes all these problems? Okay, this is something that is very, very important, right? You need to really, really become aware and understand this. Okay, there are multiple factors more than this that affect us, but these are the common things that really, really affect us. Okay, now a simple expression is cold foods and water. Okay, what happens? Like anything. Okay, anything that needs to take place in the body. Okay, it doesn't happen very slowly. It 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 is happening at a split second, not even a split second. It is happening at nanoseconds. Okay, that means it is happening so fast. We cannot literally stop it to observe the change that is happening. It is happening very, very rapidly. Okay, so when something that has to happen very quickly, right? There has got to be some kind of an activity that has got to be stalled. Okay, something has got to stall at a nanosecond for a negative impression to get into the body and affect our system. Okay, now I ask you this experience: if you go and jump into a cold, or you have a cold shower. Okay, imagine you forgot to switch on your heater in the morning, and you go and have your shower, the cold water splashes on you, and what would you do? You will freeze for a few seconds, and then you have all those reactions. You feel very uncomfortable, and then you go out there, and then you turn on your heater again, and then you come back, but you're feeling very cold. Okay, now imagine drinking cold water. Okay, when you drink cold water into your body, you're going to stunt your cellular activity for a few seconds. Okay, when this stunt happens, that means it stalls the cellular activity for microseconds, nanoseconds. That's where the proteins in your DNA structure starts to get damaged. Okay, all the free radicals quickly get into the system and they affect you. So actually, eating cold stuff, okay, eating cold stuff are not beneficial for the body. So why do they sell ice creams? You know, why do they have, you know, ice cubes and all this? It's actually really nice to have them and you really feel shocked. Okay. But if you look at it from the health perspective, right? If you're going to indulge in them, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, I don't take any cold foods or I don't drink cold water. Sometimes you can't help it. You really, really need to have them and you, because it makes you feel comfortable. But they are not beneficial for your body, especially when your body is suffering from chronic health challenges like skin challenges, you have bacterial activity that's going on, you have viral infections, you got, you know, some kind of papilloma infection that is happening in you, you know, you got some kind of fungi activity, there's yeast intolerance, all these kind of things that are happening in your body. If they are happening, and don't think that, you know, this only happens for a few people. Most of them has got some kind of yeast intolerance in their body because they are taking a lot of drugs. Yeah, especially if you're taking antibiotics in your body, you will definitely be. And if you have been taking it on a regular basis, you will have some kind of yeast infection in your system, which is may not be so active, or it becomes active and it starts to affect your system. Okay. The other thing that is happening is carbon. Okay. Now, how carbon gets into your body? If we are constantly eating fried food, okay, if we're eating a lot of fried stuff, right? The carbon particles from your fried food. Okay, how can fried food have carbon particles? Please, I like to eat my tempura. I like to have my KFC, my Zinger burger, and whatever that you're going to have, your fish and chips. Yeah, whatever that you're having, you have been eating it for so long. You know, I've been feeling healthy and well. Not true. Okay, look at it from this perspective. Go home and try an experiment. Put some oil in your frying pan and throw a piece of fish or chicken into it and just let it cook. Okay, just let it overcook. You will see that it turns brown and eventually it starts to become black. Now, that process that is happening is called carbon. Okay, it's carbonizing. Okay, when it becomes carbonized, right, that carbon particles that is on that food, when you eat them, right, when it's brown, it is semi-carbon. Okay, that there's carbon particles already forming there, but it is brown in color. And when you eat, it's so crispy and yummy. But the moment it goes into your body, it starts to form cancer cells in your system because the free radicals start to denature your cells. The excess carbon that goes into your body starts to degenerate, and then it becomes cancerous in your body. Okay, salt. Okay, salt work in two ways. One is it is a medicine. At the same time, it can be causing a lot of imbalances in your body. Now, a lot of people who are suffering from high blood pressure, when they eat a lot of salt, their pressure seems to go up. But do you know that salt is actually a medicine to reduce high blood pressure as well? How? Okay, if you have elevated level of blood pressure, take a pinch of salt. Just place it on your tongue and take some water and swish it in your mouth and then swallow it. Pressure will naturally go down. Okay, a pinch of salt. Okay, it's about the amount is about the size of rice grain. Okay, so just touch and put it in your tongue, take some water, swish it around and swallow it. Pressure will go down. If you have excess salt, it becomes a problem. And too much salt also dehydrates your body, and because it's dehydrating your body, it affects your brain function. And because your brain function gets affected, now you'll find that your brain signals are not reaching to every part of your body. The brain starts to hold whatever signals that it has give to the vital organs, and you find that all your other organs starts to fail. Okay, they start to fail. So getting yourself enough water, okay, is also an essential thing. Okay, now so when we talk about water, is coffee and tea classified as water? Is taking health food drinks like vitamin water, 100 plus, and all those sports drinks, and or even drinking Coca-Cola, and all those juices that are being sold in Tetra packs and all this. Are they classified as water? No. Okay, they are not classified as water. They are literally what do you call, they're not classified as water. They actually goes into the food category because of all the sugars and other components that are there. Okay, water is clean, pure water. Okay, what kind of water you should be drinking? Okay, ideally you should be drinking refined, clean water. Okay, Singapore water is clean, but may not be so safe because it is void of all the minerals, and also is it goes through reverse osmosis, and it has also got a lot of hormones in the water because the semi-permeable membrane do not filter hormones in the water, so they get back into the system, and when we are drinking it, we are also drinking hormones from people who are discharging it, because we are also drinking recycled water, which is coming from sewage as well. So filtered water, alkalized water will be highly beneficial for you, and so using a proper filtration system is going to be a beneficial thing to use as well. Genetically modified organisms. So many things are genetically modified now. Most of the crops, especially wheat, soy, fruits, have been genetically modified. Okay, that means, like, you find oranges without seeds. They're very convenient to eat. Grapes without seeds, they're very convenient to eat. But if you are eating them, the genetic structure of that fruit has been modified. Now, when you're eating that, it's going to affect your genetic structure as well. Okay, because when they come with their seeds, there are certain seeds that are edible. Okay, when there are certain seeds, when you eat them, the chemical and the nutritional components of that fruit interacts with the seed, and it supports your body. Okay, like the pectin in the apple is only activated when you eat the apple with their seeds. Okay, otherwise you find that when you eat the apple, and by removing the core, you end up with a lot of gas in your body, because the pectin is not benefiting. Pectin is good for your heart, yeah, and it's got a whole host of other benefit as well. Okay, so genetically modified foods. Okay, the grapes were one of the first foods that were genetically modified. They were done in the 1800s. Yeah, carrots. Yeah, actually carrots were purple in color, and then in Belgium, because their national color is orange, so they genetically modified into orange carrots, and orange carrots were more attractive. So now orange carrots are prevalently available now, but the purple carrots are coming back. People who are mindful about health and wellness, they are starting to eat purple carrots. Yeah, chemicals that comes from there are all kinds of chemicals that are that being leached out into the world now. A lot of chemicals are being dumped into the sea. A lot of chemicals are used as pesticides, and they're used on your vegetables, yeah, especially your apples. You will see a lot of wax, and the shiny stuff that you see there is all sprayed. Okay, how to know that your fruit is sprayed with chemicals? If you see any numbers, when you see those stickers that are on the apples and oranges, if you see the number 4 and number 3, anything that's starting with number 4 and number 3, they are generously, I tell you, they are generously spread and sprayed with all kinds of chemicals, okay, to protect the fruit. Okay, so they want to protect the fruit so that no bugs get to it. If the bugs were to eat them, they will die. Now you're eating them, what would happen? Okay, you may say that, all right, it goes on the skin, so no problem, it's not going to affect you, so why bother? But it's going into your system, it's going into your body. It is definitely going to make you very, very sick. Okay, drugs. Okay, drugs, we are talking about like marijuana, ketamines, and there are all kinds of drugs that are the heroin, right? If you are taking them, they are chemically processed as well. If in Singapore we have the death sentence for that, but in other countries you can actually go, and you got easy access to them. Okay, so that's why a lot of people go abroad, and they go and try their drugs, and then they stay away for a while, and then they come back. And but when they're taking those drugs, right, it has got a drastic impact in their body. Okay, processed foods, Processed foods is literally food that are being extensively cooked. Okay, all your packed food, okay, they got to be literally cooked to the pulp, and there's no nutritional value in that. Certain cultures have got food, they really cook it to the point where there's no more nutritional value in those foods. Okay, so those are really bad for you. Medicinal drugs, if you're on the habit of taking medicines, okay, do you know that if you take about 12 Panadols in a day, you can actually commit suicide with that? Yeah. So, and then the half-life of Panadols, about paracetamol is about 7 years. So there's a long time to get that out of your system. Okay. So it takes a long time to clear that out of your system. So people take that on a regular basis because they got a little headache, or they feel some kind of pain, or they got some kind of menstrual cramps, and they're taking it. And these drugs, people are on a variety of drugs, especially they are taking, especially if they're identified with diabetes, they're statin drugs, they're cholesterol drugs, they are with different types of metformin, and they even on insulin injections. And so they easily end up with about 4 or 5 drugs, and they're taking it on a daily basis. Imagine what kind of structural and cellular damage that you can give to your body. Vaccines, okay? We are in a highly stressed environment now because of the COVID virus. And why this virus came about is also due to the vaccines that you have regularly been taking and injecting yourself through your doctors. They have all kinds of chemicals in them, and they are affecting you as well. Air is the other element that we used to get a lot of smoke in the month of June and July, literally from the back burning of in Indonesia, and a lot of people used to have respiratory illness. Okay, now industrialization has also contributed to air pollution. Literally, if you're living in Jurong area, in the west coast area of Singapore, okay, you will find that if you spend about a day in that area, Boon Lay, Jurong West Extension, Pioneer areas, Jurong West, and then West Coast areas, right? Literally, you find a lot of soot in the air because of the refineries and the heavy industries that are there. If you go and spend a day in that area, okay, in the morning you wake up, you will literally will be spitting out a lot of black stuff, a lot of carbon gets into your body. There are also a lot of heavy metals that are floating around. You breathe into your system, they're going to affect you as well. Stress is another factor that affects you because it has got a lot of chemical interaction. Electronic smoke, the Wi-Fi, the radiation, the 4Gs and the 5Gs, the HARP, all these are there now floating around and affecting your health and your well-being. It's good to minimize the use of devices, and if you can go off the grid, you will actually literally improve your longevity and your health and your wellness. And radiation, okay? Radiation is not only from your electrical devices. One of the common radiation source is microwave oven you have in your body. The microwave oven has got about 200-meter radius. That means if you are using it, you're literally going to nuke, your neighbors, and people. It's very far away. Okay, and now imagine you have a microwave oven at home. You put your food inside, it's literally denaturing the food. The natural structure of the food is totally gone. And the other beautiful thing that you do also is that you put your hand on top of that, the microwave oven. You're waiting for the thing to go and go in the thing. Okay, you set it up for 3 minutes, and before the 3 minutes is up, you open the door, to check whether it's hot enough, and you close the door and to continue and keep on doing that. What is happening? The radiation is directly exposed to your armpit. Okay, when it's exposed to your armpit, you end up with a lot of lymphoma, breast cancers, and all these things are happening because of the radiation that is coming from your humble microwave oven. Okay, so TV, now people are getting closer and closer to the TV, and the amount of radiation that comes from there is going to affect you as well. People you got to sit about 3 meters away from your TV to minimize the radiation that comes from that. Okay, so nowadays they say they got the LED TV, reduces the radiation, all this, but you still get the electronic smoke, and TV is getting bigger and bigger. So the light that you are seeing from the TV, right, and they literally alters your visual, your eyes, and in that process, it starts to create a blue lines in your eyes, and people are becoming blind. Okay, their eyesight get affected, they literally becoming blind. See, so many things that are contributing to the damage of your DNA. Now you got to think, where am I going to live, and what am I going to do? Um, is this safe? Is there something safe? Are we going to live safely in this world? What's happening, right? We are in actually a lot of danger now. Okay, we are living in a dangerous world with all these things that are happening out, and actually this is not just the only thing, but there's so many things that are there which is contributing to our health challenges. But we can take charge of our well-being. We can do something to change. Okay, now I'm going to briefly talk about age. Okay, if I had shown my friend, you wouldn't believe that they're so young. I have a yoga teacher who's now in his 70s but looks like he's a 40-year-old. Okay, so I had to put the picture of Che and her mother. Che, I think she's in her 70s, and the mother is about 90 plus. Look at them. Okay, right at the bottom. Okay, look at their picture. Okay, they look so young. Okay, look so vibrant. Che doesn't look like she's the Che. If you look at Adam's Family, if you watch it, the one with the comes as the mother in that movie. Right, a famous actress. Look at that. She's been she looks very young. Yeah. Now, on it, I want to share this information with you. There's a common popular belief, aging is natural, and because of age, it is natural to have all kinds of diseases. It is a prevalent and a dangerous perspective in modern medicine. Yeah, is to simply attribute the disease like cancer, heart disease, stroke, your diabetes, arthritis, and other diseases to age. Okay, it's not true. You don't need to have all these things. In my 15 years of practice as a naturopath in Singapore, I've seen very old people who look very, very young. Okay. And I've also seen a lot of young feeling extremely sick. Okay. I'm just wonder, he's so young, he's already so sick, and what's going to happen? Right. The youngest who had a stroke in Singapore was a 14-year-old boy. Okay. A 14-year-old boy, of course, from a rich family. And this was some years ago, it happened. So stroke was something that was attributed to old people, right? They used to say that as you get older you end up with all this kind of diseases. Not true. Don't believe it. Okay, it's not true at all. You can actually be very, very healthy and vibrant. Yeah, I have in my family people who had actually lived till a very ripe old age, very able and strong. They never had all these problems, and they were very vibrant, and they were they're full of vitality and health. They were okay, right? So don't buy into this idea that so as you get old you will get all these kind of diseases. Don't. Okay, it's not true. Okay, you can be more vibrant. You can actually be very, very healthy. Okay, so now, do genes have got anything to do with diseases? Okay, epigenetics. Right? There's a huge study about it and how gene interacts with your body. Okay, now I want to ask you a simple question. If gene theory is true, all of us would have been dead by plague. A lot of people who suffered by plague. That means everybody will have plague now. Everybody will have cancers now. Every citizen in this world will have diabetes now. Do we? We don't. So what happened? What happened? Their forefathers had it. What? How come they didn't have? Okay. Now humanity would not have continued to exist. That means humanity would have been long gone by now. It would be a good thing in this world now. Actually, if you really look into it, it would have been a really, really a good thing to happen if human beings were not around. Why? Okay, we are the reason for all the challenges in this world. The moment we got locked down, imagine what kind of changes that started to happen in this world. The earth, started to flourish. The air got clean. We had so many people who come and talk and talked about environmental health, and we need to do climate change and blah 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 blah. And what happened? Nothing worked. But the moment an invisible virus, okay, we don't care about it's man-made or it's a biochemical weapon or what, but it did what it has to do. It put people away. All got locked down, right? Limited access and limited movement, and see the kind of changes started to take place in this world. So nature has its got own ways. It influences people to do all kinds of funny things to make it happen, or it takes charge of itself. Okay, it takes charge of itself and does what it has to do. Now, so this idea about gene theory, okay, you have it. Everybody has got cancer cells in their body. Okay, now So if everybody has got cancer cells in their body, why some get cancer, others do not get cancers? Okay, one of the reasons that they get cancers is because they have activated the cancer cells in their body. Okay, their cells are no more at rest. They are multiplying without rest, so it is rapidly multiplying and becomes a full-blown cancer. There are a lot of fungi and bacteria that contribute to cancer. Papilloma viruses contribute to cancer. So there are many things that are happening in our body. Okay, and because there are many things that are happening in our body, okay, we are in a process where we are affecting ourselves. Nature has got its own way of balancing everything. Okay, the proton, which is positive, the electrons, which is negative, and the neutron, which is neutral. Okay, uh, this interaction that is taking place. Okay, there's an interaction, and there's always a subtle balance, and it is kept in a neutral space. When this neutral balance that you have in your system goes out of whack, okay, there's a robbing of the protons, and then you find that the electrons are become deficient. That's where the free radicals are entering into your body, and you find that the body starts to degenerate. Okay, now you have 5 fingers in your hand. Are they all at the same height? They are not at the same height. They are all at different height. Okay, you have different members in your family. Do everybody have diabetes? Right? No. Okay, so what is happening? Why some of them get diabetes and some of them do not? Okay, it is because of the lifestyle, the kind of food, and the kind of stress that they're having, that they went out there and activated the diabetic imbalances in their body by switching it on. Okay, if someone had become mindful, okay, they had become mindful and they have taken care of their well-being, they understood the energy of their body and how their body is interacting, they wouldn't have had this experience. They would have literally stopped turning on that switch of diseases in themselves, and in the process keep them healthy and well. Okay, very, very unfortunate. So this is happening day in, day out. We see it a lot, but I hope by the end of today you are in a space where you can actually prevent this from happening in yourself. Right? So we're now going to go into the 5 systemic systems in our body, and systemically how we can help ourselves. Okay, so the 5 systemic foods. Let's look into the heart. Okay, the heart is the most important organ in our body, and uh, and uh, and if the heart is not functioning, we are not alive. Yeah. So we need to ensure that we have enough and vibrant foods that support our heart health. Okay. Now, if you are looking at your heart health, okay, some of the foods that you really need to have, some of the essential fatty acids that you need. You need to have some amino acids. You need to eat a lot of fibers. You need to get certain minerals and the fats that you need the body in your body to support your well-being. And then you need all those foods that eliminates the buildup of toxins in your heart as well. Okay, so a lot of things can come and interact with your heart, and they take away all the well-beings. You need berries to give you all the antioxidants that you have. So some of the blueberries that you have there, the red berries. Now I have a habit of taking wild berries. I go to Pun Huat. Okay, if you are familiar with Pun Huat, the ladies would probably be aware. This is a cake supplier shop. Okay, so they sell all kinds of things that you can make cakes. Okay, so they have these little packets of wild berries. They call it the summer berries. I would encourage you to get that. Okay, there's a mix of berries in there, purple ones, red ones, and orange ones. And so get some, and a kilo bag is about $15. It's actually a great steal. It's a good value for money. And what you need to do is just get them and take whatever amount that you need on a daily basis, right? Take, if you feel like having more, then you have more. You want to take little, just take a few, or take a small handful or spoonful. Okay, throw it into a blender, throw some fruits in, cucumber, throw some cucumber. You can add avocados, you can add celery. Okay, you can add bananas, and I add coconut oil into mine. I add a cucumber. I give it a zap, and I drink it every morning. Okay, when I'm taking them, what it does to my system. Okay, it gives me the essential antioxidants that I would need. That's not only going to support my heart health, it's also going to support my digestive health as well. Okay, so a lot of people will say, oh, coconut oil is bad for you. Not true. Okay, plant-based saturated fat, it doesn't transform itself into trans fat. You should be aware and you got to be careful about trans fat. Okay, now coconut oil. What kind of coconut oil can we have? The best oil to form of coconut oil to have is cold pressed coconut oil, virgin cold pressed coconut oil. Okay, cold press is a method where you extract which has got the least level of or you have actually the not least but actually the highest level of the essential nutrients that you need from the coconut oil. Now actually I'm thinking about okay, it will come in a while. Okay, but hang on to that coconut oil information. Okay, but because we're going to look into it on a regular basis. Okay, so the coconut oil. Okay, we'll come to that. Okay, chia seeds. Okay, a powerful anti-inflammatory, and if you take them, just throw it in a bottle of water, a big spoonful, a tablespoonful of it, and when you let it soak for an hour or two, you find that it starts to occupy space because it sucks in all the water and it becomes large. And then just drink it. Drink the seeds as well. It goes into your body, it gets digested, and the anti-inflammatory properties is so good for your heart as well. Okay, and then we look at the brain. Okay, yeah, your brain needs a variety of food, and especially the primary food that the brain needs are a lot of fruits. Okay, the fruits that is because the fructose is the essential nutrient that goes into our brain, and so we need that. We need a lot of silica. You find that in naturally happening in occurring in cucumbers and a lot of and some green vegetables and some of the root vegetables. The lycopene, yeah, the salicylates, yeah, in a certain amount is beneficial for the body. Okay, the onions, which got the garlic, the alanine and allicin that you get from the garlic, it is not only beneficial for your liver, but it's also for the brain. And you need to eat colorful foods. Okay, so we have a lot of colorful food out there. Okay, so lots of fructose. However, your brain will really benefit by having a lot of water. This brain is actually contained in, in, in liquid. Okay, it is, between your skull and your brain, there's fluid. Yeah, the brain fluid that you have in between your skull and your brain. Okay, it is protecting the brain. Okay, and the brain has got to be hydrated on a regular basis. The whole body, when it's hydrated, the brain functions effectively. Right, you cannot live without air. You can live without food, but you cannot live without water for a long time. Okay, you have to have air to breathe, yeah, but you definitely need a lot of water to support yourself. So water is a primary and an essential commodity that you need, and it supports your brain. It is supporting your whole body because 80% of your body is water fluid, and it is got to be supported by drinking clean, pure, healthy water. Okay, so clean, pure, healthy water, one of the best forms of water to have, alkalized water, mineral water. I'm not a big fan of distilled water, but rainwater is distilled water. Everything grows in rainwater. But by the time it comes to earth, it passes through all the different things that is naturally occurring in the environment. It interacts with the ground, and it takes the minerals from the ground as it comes to the earth, and it fills and it feeds all the nutrients to all the plants. Okay, so it comes, and the interaction that is taking place is supporting, but on its own, it's not a very healthy thing. However, it is also used in therapeutic purposes as well. But one day, in the next few talks, I'll be addressing about water. We will look into that. But for now, the best form of water to have, clean, pure water, healthy, really filtered. Okay, and the water that we have, may have a lot of artificially infused chemicals and non-beneficial, especially like asbestos, aluminiums, that get filtered into our water, hormones that get filtered in our water that contributes to a lot of cancer. By electrolysis, we can actually neutralize them, and you need to also get water in by having it micro-clustered. So there are machines that actually contribute to micro-clustering of that water, and when you micro-cluster it, it becomes more beneficial to the body. Okay, it gets absorbed by the body rapidly. So explore. There's so many things that are out there about water. Explore and get something that is good and that is beneficial for you. Okay. Then we come to liver, my favorite organ. Okay, why? Because liver is something that is really beneficial for our system, and it is the center where produce and processes all the essential nutrients to our body, and it is also the hub where processes all the hormones in our body as well. Okay, so we need a lot of fats to have that happening in our body. The kind of best fats to have is avocado, coconut oil, and ghee. Right? They're really beneficial for your body. Now, what is the particular fruit that contributes to regeneration of our liver, which I shared with you earlier in my talk? That literally can transform, and you can have a new set of liver. Okay, and halt all kinds of growth and toxins that is building up in your liver is lemon. Okay, how? Okay, for 90 days. Okay, you got to eat half a fruit daily. Okay, that means you're not just going to eat the fruit, you got to eat the skin as well, the rind. Okay, the rind of the lemon, cut half of it, cut into thin pieces, sit down there and simply chew on it and eat it. If you do it for 90 days, by the 90th day you literally have a new set of liver. Okay, isn't that amazing? Wow. A lot of people suffer from liver cirrhosis and all kinds of disease processes, but you also need to detox your liver first. You cannot be restoring your liver and recreating a new liver by having all those toxins in your system. It's got to be filtered, it's got to be cleared. So liver flush, some of the common foods that you can use to help get rid of toxins from your liver is broccoli. The sulforaphane that you find in broccoli, it is really beneficial. Okay, it is really supporting your body. The sulforaphane reduces the inflammation. Spinach, yeah, onions, walnuts, avocados, Brussels sprouts, yummy. Cooked Brussels sprouts with butter and some spices. It's really yummy. Artichokes, beets, yeah, beetroots, grapefruits, garlic, yeah, they're superfoods for liver. Okay, one other things that you can actually use to filter your liver of all the bile stones and bile salts that could be stuck in your bile duct, or the sediments that are accumulating in your liver. Okay, what do you do? Okay, you drink French beans. Okay, French beans, you got to blend them and then drink it. Drink it on a daily basis. Do it for 21 days and see what kind of shift starts to happen in your body. Okay, so that's a tip that you can try to use to flush your liver. Coriander, cilantro. Okay, so coriander is a powerful food that you can actually have to drink as a tea in your soups. It will help to flush your liver as well. French beans, you not only just need to eat it or drink it as a juice, you can cook it and eat it on a regular basis. If you can eat it daily, do it as a medicinal part of yourself, and it will naturally start to support your body. And then the other food that you need to eat to support your joints. Okay, joints, right? A lot of people go for knee replacement, hip replacement, and they go for surgeries to correct all the imbalances that they have with their joints. They can't sit on the floor, and now it's so common. When I was living in Australia for 8 years, I've observed so many Westerners who are literally walking out there, or actually hardly walk. Okay, they hardly walk, but they are on a motorized scooters, and they're sitting on that, and and they're going about. Yeah, and they look young. They actually look very young, but they cannot walk. Yeah, it is also because of the kind of foods that they're eating. So what are the foods that actually support your joints? Okay, uh, although there are soy isoflavones, they call it soy, but I extracted this from the net, and if so I put it there, because you will also go and probably look at on the internet, and you will find, thus this kind of foods are informed there as it is beneficial for your body. But one thing that I will tell you, soy is a no-no. Okay, you got to literally put a cross on the soy. Okay, it is high purine food. It is not beneficial for your system, and it will contribute to joint pains, and it causes a lot of stress in your joints. Now, if you want to ease the pain from your joints, literally stop eating soy. If you literally stop eating soy, you will find you will start to have healthy joints, and you feel that they're becoming squeaky, and they can function better. Okay, knee pain, joint pain, shoulder pain, back pain, any kind of pain that you have with your joints, stop soy completely in any form. Okay, so stop your tofu, your tahu goreng, your tahu sambal, and whatever. Cut that out from your system. You will do heaps of good for your body. Okay, the other one, okay, the salmons that or the deep sea fish, the oily fish. Okay, sardines are beneficial, but salmons, you're lucky if you get Norwegian salmons, but very rare, because now there are a lot of salmons get which are even produced in Norway, and they are farm fish. Okay, they feed them with all kinds of soy and grains and things. Have you seen fish eating grains? It doesn't. It eats other fish, and it eats little critters in the sea. But farm fish are eating so-called human thinking good food for them, and we eat them. They go into our system. They contribute a lot of problems, especially heavy metals. Salmons carry the most high levels of mercury and lead in their system, dioxins, which is not beneficial for your joints. Okay, dark green leafy vegetables is something that you must have. Okay, dark green leafy vegetables and green vegetables. Okay, dark green vegetables are okay to be eaten at night, but the leafy vegetables are not suitable for dinner. You got to eat them at breakfast and lunch. Okay, why? Because the oxalates that you have them, they are not beneficial to have been to be eaten in for dinner. So minimize them or avoid them at night, but you can eat other vegetables like broccoli, your celery, the rhubarbs, yeah, the Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and all this can be eaten at night. They're good to eat them. Nuts, all kinds of mixed nuts, yeah, the omega 3s that you find from the nuts, they're highly beneficial for you. Olive oil is not suitable for cooking. Okay, it's good as a cold oil. Virgin olive oil, cold pressed virgin olive oil is beneficial. However, not the refined oils. Okay, the refined oils go through all kind of chemical processes. They're not beneficial for your body. You can also benefit by taking ghee, clarified butter, and coconut oil. Okay, the tomatoes, lycopene from tomato, lycopene from tomato can only be activated when you cook them. Okay, semi-cooked. Overcooked, the lycopene also goes away from the tomato. So it's got to be semi-cooked. Berries are beneficial. Probiotics are very good, not only from milk. The probiotics nowadays come from different sources. You can have coconut milk probiotic, nut milk probiotic. They're good for you, and they are highly beneficial. Ginger and turmeric, they are circulatory stimulants. They improve circulation in your body. The onions, they're beneficial. Beetroots, any purple foods like I shared in my previous talk. Purple foods are super beneficial foods for everything in your body. Okay, so it's good to include purple colored foods and fruits in your diet on a regular basis. Yeah. And we're coming to kidneys. Singapore has got the biggest incidence of kidney failure, in this world, according to population ratio. Okay, we have dialysis centers in every housing estate. Right, where I'm going to move to, I'm going close, moving to somewhere at Chestnut Drive, and the nature reserve. Yeah, close to the nature reserve, a couple of blocks that are there. There are 2 dialysis centers from different organizations in a block, just adjacent to each other. Okay, can you imagine the number of people that are going for dialysis in my area? But the dialysis centers are big. They're much bigger than community centers in Singapore. A lot of people, they run, if they can, they run 24/7. They go right up to midnight. They start early in the morning. They go right up to midnight. they can be processing about 100 old people per day, in their centers going for dialysis. Can you imagine, if 100 people are going for a session, for a dialysis session per day, right? If there are 4 sessions or 5 sessions, you're looking at 500 people going for dialysis at one center. Can you imagine how many people are going for dialysis in this country? Why? Yeah, why? It is also because of the kind of food that they are eating, the kind of stress levels that they have, the chemicals they're being exposed to, and the poor quality water that they're drinking, right? Hey, we are supposed to be having the highest quality or the best form of water that we have. I told you our water is very, very clean, but it is not safe. Okay, so what are the foods that really support our well-being? That helps with the kidneys. Algae, right? Spirulina, cryptomonodalis, AFA. They are superfoods. If you can get them, you can eat them. They will be really, really beneficial uh, for your body. Berries, yeah. Not when you have kidney diseases, you're going to eat berries, you have some problems, okay? Because the chemical imbalances will start to interact in your body, and actually they will say it's a no-no. But we are talking about people who do not have the disease, or they have some signs that the kidneys are not functioning effectively in their body. Okay, so it's good to have berries, grapes, spinach, nettle, dandelions. Dandelions are not a common. It actually is a common thing. If you go out in your, you go out there and you look in on the grounds now, you can literally see dandelions that are growing. Okay, it's a very bitter herb, right? If you need to know how to identify them, and then you can actually eat them. You can make salad out of them. But they in the health food shop they sell dandelion coffee. So instead of drinking coffee, you can drink dandelion coffee. It's a liver. It is a kidney protector. It is also a liver protector as well. Okay, parsley is something that helps your kidneys. It helps to flush out the toxins out of the system. Corianders will do that as well. Asparagus, right? It literally clears all the urea from your waterworks. Turmeric, quinoa, the black quinoa is really, really beneficial for you. Ginger, okay? Ginger is another food that you can have because of the circulatory stimulation that is going on in your body. Okay, your kidney and your heart are interrelated. So whatever that you're eating for your heart and whatever that you're eating for your kidneys, right? They help each other. They support each other. Okay, because the heart is pumping and pushing all the blood to the body, the kidney filters them and sends it back to all the areas that is need to support. Now, if your kidneys are not functioning and they're not serving you properly, right? You need to quickly go and see someone who could actually help you. If you go to the doctors, right? They go through the essential markers and they look at the creatinine levels, the GFR levels, and then they will tell you whether your kidneys are functioning properly or not, right? So you got to be mindful, and there are ways to detox and flush out the toxins from your kidneys and support yourself. You got to do that. You got to get that going in your body. Okay. Now, this is something that I shared in my previous workshop. I'm talking about foods that carries the highest energy. You got to eat food that are of highest energy. If you look on the right, you will see a raw tomato and a cooked tomato. Okay, a raw tomato, when you slice it and they took a brilliant photo of that, you find that the light that is surrounding that raw tomato, it is the energy and vibration that comes from that. Now, we are looking at raw tomatoes that has just been plucked from the tree, not those coated with chemicals. Okay, when you wash with high alkalized water, you literally see all the oil-based pesticides that are coming from the tomato. You'll be shocked. Okay, some of us just buy the tomatoes from the shop and we're just eating them. Okay, and we claim that the tomatoes taste very sour. Tomatoes are actually sweet. When you wash them properly, you can taste the sweetness. Okay, cooked tomatoes, you will find that the light that is emitting, the life force that is emitting is reduced, but it is still there. Okay, now on the other side that you see is a slice of meat and an apple, right? When a slice of apple, it is still vibrant with energy, but when it starts to oxidize, you find that naturally it starts to fade, and the energy levels are going to, they dissipate, right? They go into attrition, and eventually there's no more energy when it starts to oxidize. Now, when you see, look at the meat, okay, even meat has also got some kind of vibration. It's not the energy vibrations that you see from the meat, it is the energy vibration from the bacteria and the parasite that is on the meat, okay? So you got to eat foods that are of higher vibrations, okay? So we're going to go into a healing, activation, and an experience, okay? In this healing, activation, and experience, what I'd like you to do, I'm going to stop sharing this for a while, and I would encourage you to do this. I would like you to um, turn on your videos so that I can see all of you, right? If you can, right? Turn on your videos, okay? And I'm going to guide you into a simple process. I'm going to guide you to a process where I'm going to activate the energy experience in your body. Okay, ready? Good. Now, what I'd like you to do is to take a deep breath. Okay, we're going to do a simple exercise where we're going to declutter our brain. Okay, to declutter your brain, there is a process where you have to use noise to cancel noise. Okay, noise to cancel noise. How? Okay, you're going to hum. Okay, you're going to chant, you're going to say hum, okay? And there's a process to do it, okay? You're going to use your tongue to touch your palate, okay? You're going to use your tongue touching your palate, okay? Your mouth closed, and, okay, you're going to chant hum, okay? So let's do this for as a 2-minute exercise, okay? When we do this as a 2-minute exercise, what's going to happen is that I want you to become mindful of what's happening in your head, mindful of what's happening in your body, and I want you to experience what is happening in you. You know, are you in one mind? Are you, suddenly with all this information that I shared with you, are you experiencing a lot of stress? Are you, your head is processing and racing with a lot of information? What's going to happen? Just become mindful of that. And then we're going to hum. Whatever stress that you have within yourself, I'm not asking you to stop those stress or anything like that. Whatever stress, the maximum stress that you have in yourself, I would like you to observe and say hum. Okay, can we start now? Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to chant hum. Okay, so your tongue is touching your palate, and you go hum. Breathe. Hum. Okay, can? Okay, so those who had experienced this before, you use the technique that I shared with you before, but we start with the humming exercise. Okay, so this process I will explain to you in a while what it's going to do to your body. Okay, let's start. Hum. Breathe. Go. Hum. Hum. Breathe. Hum. Breathe in again. Hum. Breathe in. Slowly. Hum. 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 Good. Okay. But you have just experienced that. Observe for a moment what it's like in your brain. What's happening in your brain. Okay. Take a moment to observe. Okay. How many of y'all, place you put up your hand if you feel that your head is still noisy? So not noisy, yeah. Can you feel the quietness in your head? Yeah. Thumbs up if you feel the quietness in your head. Okay. Right. Wonderful. Almost all. Okay. So now this is an exercise that you can do on a regular basis. Okay. Hum yourself. And when you don't need to really say hum, you can even say sing a lullaby as well. Some kind of your favorite music. Don't do Billie Jean lah, humming. Okay, you can sing other things that is hummable. Okay, so you hum, and what it does is that um, it starts to slow down the brain activity. It starts to remove the clutter, and your head becomes quiet. When the head is quiet, you are in a better space to experience healing. Okay, let's take a 1 minute break. Okay, let's take a 1 minute break and we gather again. Go and get some water or something to drink water. Okay, I'll be there with you. It's 9+ now. It's time to tuck in my kids. So I have to remind them they're back to school tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, Zainal, you asked a question about is cold shower good for the body? Not beneficial. Okay, ideally warm shower or room temperature water. Okay, extreme cold shower not really beneficial for the system. It shocks your system, and it goes into your body as well. But for people, there are people who use it for therapeutic purposes. Okay, if you are young, you drink cold water, you increase your metabolic activity. But as you're older, your metabolic system, for a variety of reasons, for the lifestyle you have led and the food that you've been eating, right, your body goes on a slowdown. And if it's slow, your metabolic activity is also slow. You'll find that you will be affected by all the influences of bacteria, viruses, and toxins entering your body. Yeah, so not advisable if you have health challenges. Okay, good. Now almost there. Everybody's there. Okay, and we'll wait for Vinay to come back. Okay, so far so good, everybody. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, a lot of information now, but use those information. Okay, so we're going to go into a practical exercise. Okay, we're going to go into an exercise where we're going to sense our body. Okay, so take a deep breath and close eye Close your eyes and flow with me. All right. Take a deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Take a deep breath. Breathe in and out. And slowly become mindful of your breath. Just focus on your breathing. Okay. Focus on your breathing. As you focus on your breathing, observe the air that is going in your nostril, the cold air that you're breathing in through your nostril, and the warm air that you're slowly breathing out. As you're breathing in and out, yeah, observe the unique exchange that is taking place there, which is being processed in your body. The air that you're breathing out goes to a certain distance and is pulled back into your system through your nostril. It goes into your body as cold air. It touches the tip of your nose, right? And in between your eyebrow, the moment it hits there, it becomes hot. It goes into your body. That is balanced and usable by your human system, by your lungs. Okay, you cannot breathe in cold air into your lungs. Your lungs will freeze and goes into a shock. So it's got to be processed. When you go to in a space where you are in the coldest environment, right? It can be minus 16 degrees, right? There are spaces on Earth that goes to minus something degrees. Okay. Last year we were in the Himalayas, and it went up to minus 3 degrees, and in the evening, and we still were breathing that air, and we were, it's cold air that we're breathing in, but it goes into our nostril and it becomes warm inside. I was very surprised. I thought my lungs were going to freeze. I was freezing outside, but inside it was okay. Okay, so breathe in, become mindful of your breathing, and take a deep breath and go slowly within yourself. Okay, observe your body, sense your head. Just become mindful of your eyes, your ears, your mouth. As you observe your breathing, you're not trying to relax. You're not trying to change your breathing pattern. Okay, just observe as you are, whatever that you are feeling. As you breathe in and out, as you breathe in and out, just go deep within yourself. Sense your neck and your shoulders and feel them. As you go within yourself and feel the whole of your spinal process and your back. Feel them. If they are tight, if they are heavy, let it be. Just observe. If they are relaxed, good, and let that be. And slowly bring your awareness to your chest and your tummy and feel them. Sense the whole of your tummy, the whole of your body. And slowly, slowly bring your awareness to your hips. Your thighs and your knees. And slowly bringing your awareness to your calf muscles, your shins, and your ankles. Feel them. Are they tight? Are they relaxed? Are they stressed? Whatever they are, feel them. Slowly, slowly bringing the whole attention to your feet. And feel your toes. As you feel them, as you feel your toes, and also sense your hands, your arms, and your hands and your fingers. Feel them. As you sense your feet, feel your hands as well, your arms, your hands, and your fingers. And breathe out and sense your whole body. Okay? Your whole body from head to toe. Sense that. Observe any particular spot in your body that is stress in your system. It could be at your heart, it may be your feet, it may be your head, your eyes, whatever it is, sense it. Whatever that you sense. Take a deep breath Slowly, slowly breathe out. And gently place your hand on that area. Stretch out your hands and place them on that area and allow the universal energy of love and grace through your hands reaching out to that area of your body and supporting you. Feel that. As you feel it, just affirm yourself infinite love and gratitude. Repeat that slowly inside yourself. You're giving gratitude to your body. You're sending a lot of love to your body. Infinite love and gratitude. As you feel this infinite love and gratitude towards yourself, as you affirm within yourself, send that beautiful energy to your body. Feel it, sense it, know it, and experience it. Take a deep breath, breathe in and out, and slowly, slowly open your eyes. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Good, well done. How many of y'all felt some kind of shift happening in you? Yeah, most of y'all felt that. Thumbs up if you had felt some kind of shift happening in you. Okay, good, wonderful. Right, some of you have felt the shift happening in you. Okay, wonderful. So this is a process where you experience and activate that healing process going into your body. Okay, so it is innate, it's natural inside you, and you are experiencing it, and it's going to support your well-being. Okay, so let's go into the screen sharing mode, and I'm going to go through the next set of exercises. I'm going to talk about fasting. Okay, an interesting topic about fasting, and I have just completed a liquid fast for 21 days. I was on water, and there were days that I was really super hungry, and I felt that I need to have something, and I had some soups or some fruit juice, but most of the time drinking water. I was amazed myself. Wow, I can endure that. Actually, I was very energetic. I had a few sessions on Zoom, and I was meeting my clients. I went for my exercises, and it was such a beautiful experience for me. So I'm going to talk about fasting. I'm going to not going to talk about liquid and water fast, but I'm going to talk another form of fast that everybody can embrace easily, right? However, if you have a health condition, if you are expecting, men not expecting, women if you are expecting, right, then you should not do this fast, okay? But others, yeah, you can do this fast, and it's going to help you significantly. Okay, let's look at the kind of fast that we're going to do. Okay, so here we are. Okay. Okay. I'm going to talk about this other experience as well. Okay, this I talked about in the previous workshop, but I wanted to address this as well. So before I speak about the fast, there's a simple experience that you can do to yourself. I would like you to pick a, you can do this later. You pick a mung bean, a few pieces, and then you put it on your tongue, you roll it in your tongue. Okay, then pick out all the mung beans, the dry mung beans, yeah. You pick it out there and put it on a piece of wet cotton wool and let it sprout. The moment it starts to sprout, that means the root starts to form, right? Eat that sprout, okay? So the moment the seed touches you, it is interacting with your energy, and it acknowledges what is deficient in you. And then when you place it in the wet cotton wool, the seed starts to interact with the universal energy, okay? It absorbs all the energy imprints to nurture and repair your cells as it sprouts. And when you eat it, it establishes balance in your body, and it also heals you. So it's an amazing experience to do. Give it a try. Last week when I talked about it, some of you tried it, and then you had given me feedback that it was beneficial. You felt a surge of energy. It was useful for you. So experience that, because plants have super intelligence. You know, if you put your saliva on the seed of edible plant and place it on soil or even the cotton wool, something miraculous will happen. The plant will read your DNA and structure its own genetic blueprint to be a superfood based on any deficiencies or requirements that your DNA is signaling. So your DNA is constantly interacting with the universal energy. Okay, it is constantly interacting with the universal energy. So you take that seed which is going to germinate. You know, if you plant it, so when you eat that seed, that is going to feed the imbalances and correct the imbalances in your body, and it's going to restore you at the deepest level. Okay, now what will happen if I eat this and, you know, hey, will I be in a space where I don't need to see doctor? It depends on what you believe in yourself. Okay, so what you believe is going to happen, and when you allow this to happen, you will structure yourself. Okay, and support yourself. Right, now fasting, let's talk about fasting. And there's a Sanskrit saying, okay, langanam parama aushadam. That means fasting is an ultimate medicine. Okay, fasting is an ultimate medicine. And we talk about fasting, you know, that is the, the the Japanese cell biologist Yoshiniro Oshumi, who won the Nobel Prize in 2016, where he studied about fasting and how fasting actually supports cell recycle and renew the content and the process called autophagy. Okay, so fasting activates autophagy, cellular rejuvenation, and which helps to slow down the aging process in your body, and it has got a positive impact on you and cell renewal. Okay, literally, it helps to regenerate your body and prevents cancer cell, and also at the same time, it helps to regenerate the organs. Now I tell you, when I went on the water fast, okay, I used to do a lot of intermittent fast. When I did the water fast, I had an amazing shift in your body, in my body. Okay, so I would like you to experience this yourself. Okay, you can experience this yourself. Do not be scared. Okay, do not be scared. It's actually your mind which goes through all kinds of processes, and you know it suffers. And so be confident and restore yourself. Okay, restore yourself through fasting, and it's an amazing thing that you can do to your body. Okay, now we are at about 9:27 now. You know, can I take about a few more minutes of your time so that I quickly finish this process, but you know, to help you understand what does fasting do to your body. Okay, so I hope everybody will be okay. However, if you're in a hurry, it's okay, you can leave if you have to go, because it's quite late already. But what we're going to do now is that I'm just going to go through and finish the fasting part of it. Okay. 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 Now the 9 benefits of intermittent fasting. Okay. Fasting naturally reduces your insulin levels. Now it improves your focus. That means your brain clarity will start to improve significantly. It supports your digestion. Okay. It supports a healthy heart function. Yeah. It supports your healthy immune system. Yeah. It also reduces inflammation significantly. Okay. It also improves your cholesterol levels. It detoxifies your body, and it can help to help you lose weight, and also support you to become leaner. Okay, now why fasting does this? Okay, fasting is what happens when your body is going to on a fasting mode is that your body goes into a rest. Okay, there is a resting experience that your body goes through, and during the body when it's resting, it is going through an amazing healing process. Okay, actually when I looked at when I studied the papers of the Japanese Nobel laureate who discovered the benefits of fasting, right? I felt that it's actually the Muslim community who should have been given the Nobel Prize, because they have the habit of fasting for a month. Okay, the fact that they are fasting for a month actually contributed to a lot of health improvements, provided they do it accordingly to what was advised in their teachings of improving their well-being. And during the fasting period, they are supposed to eat only particular type of food and eat a particular fruit and drink at a particular time, and and it's something that is observed. But modern day times, people do pukul mati, they really eat all kinds of food when they break fast, which is not healthy, and actually it undo the fasting they're going through. So but I do not want to talk too much about it, but I'm going to focus on this experience. But they should have been given the honor, but the problem was it was not uh, presented scientifically. Okay, everybody was following it, but it's good. Continue to follow your fast. It is the most beneficial thing that you can do to you once a year. But if you can do it on a regular basis, you will have amazing experiences in your fasting. So we're going to look at intermittent fasting. I used to call this cheat fasting in my early days. Okay, so after this Nobel laureate became popular, they started to call it intermittent fasting. But previously, it was known as fasting and cheat fasting or modified fasting. So whatever fasting it is, right? Intermittent fasting, which is now popularly known, I'm going to talk about it. Okay, so intermittent fasting can come in many forms. Okay, one of the form, or an easy to do form fast, or maybe it can be a little tough for many people. Actually, it can be a little tough for a lot of people. Okay, is fasting on the second day and the fifth day of the week. Okay, you can also do fast. You can do fasting on the first day and the sixth day, but fasting on the second day and the fifth day is somewhere close to the middle. Your body is adjusting, and all other days you eat normally. Okay, so 24 hours you don't eat anything, but you drink water. Okay, you're drinking only water during the 24 hours, but you're not eating any food. Okay, you literally abstain from food. You are drinking only water. Okay, the other experience that you can do to yourself is this. Okay, you fast on alternate days. Okay, so you eat normally on day 1, day 3, and day 5 and day 7, but day 2, 4, and 6 you go on a 24-hour fast. Okay, this is also a form of intermittent fasting. 24 hours fast, or eat only a few hundred calories. So how to get about a few hundred calories? You are eating about a few fruits, okay, per day during that, on the days of your fasting. Okay, this kind of fasting can be a little bit challenging for people who have already got health conditions, so not beneficial for you to do this kind of fasting, especially if you're a diabetic, you're on insulin jabs or anything like that. So what kind of fast can you do? What kind of fast can you do to support your well-being? And that fast is the intermittent fast that you do for a few hours. Okay, that means from 8 o'clock, from 8 p.m. to the next day 12 p.m. you experience a fast. Okay, you 16 hours of fasting. You observe 16 hours of fasting during the day, and what happens is that you can drink water, but anything else. So you have your last meal. That means your dinner by 7:30 p.m. The latest is by 8 p.m. You're not eating anything after 8 o'clock. Okay, you sleep to 7 to 8 hours during the day, and then in the night lah. Okay, so your body is going through a fast while you're sleeping. Okay, then you do workout. You do simple exercises. Okay, you can, as you evolve, you can actually start practicing what do you call, you can start practicing more strenuous exercises. But in the beginning, do light exercises like walking. I don't encourage you to run, but simple walking exercises, brisk walking is good to do, while you're fasting. And then you break your fast. Okay, you determine what time you want to break your fast. Okay, that could be like 8 a.m. That means you do 12 hours, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., 12 hours. You can do 8 p.m. to 10 a.m., which is 14 hours, or you can do from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. in the afternoon, and you're doing 16 hours. Okay, so after your fast, you eat a healthy meal. Okay, you can literally have your lunch after your fast. Okay, you can eat proper food at lunchtime. Okay, and you got to be, during your fast, you got to drink plenty of water. Okay, and even during your fast, in the morning you wake up, you can drink water. Okay, you can drink water, clean, pure water. Not drinking coffee in the morning. That is not part of your fast. Actually, you're breaking your fast. So you got to drink water. And there are certain supplements you got to take. Okay, So probiotics is an essential thing to take during your fast. While you're fasting in the morning, also you can take some probiotics. You can take some greens, bio greens you take at just before lunch. There's any green powders that you have. We have something called the bio greens and the bio cell foods in my clinic. A mineral complex, okay, not a vitamin complex, but a mineral complex will be an essential thing to have. You can have cold pressed oils like the virgin cold pressed coconut oil or pure desi cow ghee, and lots of clean water. Okay, it's not to drink good enough. It's not beneficial to drink water after 8 p.m. That means you got to sleep by 10 o'clock in the evening, and or the latest 11 o'clock. And just before you sleep, don't drink a lot of water, because you're going to wake up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet, which is going to disrupt your sleep. So you've got to have your water before you sleep, 3 hours before you sleep, ideally. And so finish your quota for the day by about 7 p.m. Okay, don't drink too much of water. But if you really, really feel thirsty, drink, small sips and small amounts of water. At night it is perfectly okay as well, but don't drink too much of water. Okay, now okay, so this is how a simple the 16 hours 8 hours method works. Okay, so you will be fasting from 8 p.m. till about 12 p.m. ideally. If you want to do a 16-hour fast, your first meal starts at 12 p.m. You can literally have your lunch, and your last meal is by 8 p.m. and you do this every day, literally every day. You can do this for a week and you see how you feel. The maximum benefit that for you to go through and experience something, a real shift in your well-being, is to do it for about 21 days or 48 days. When you do it for about 48 days, you see a significant shift in yourself. Your health goes through a tremendous change, and you find that emotionally, mentally, you become lighter and clearer as well. Okay, I will send you this slide, this intermittent fasting slides to you all later, so that you can use it as a guide as well. Okay, so if you have a health challenges, you need to consult a physician. Come and have a chat with me. And how do you ease into intermittent fasting? Okay, so if you have some kind of health challenges or you're not sure what you should be doing, do a simple progressive immersion to support yourself into that fast. So start fasting from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. That means you're going to do for 12 hours and do that for 21 days. Okay, and then do 14 hours from 8 p.m. to 10 a.m. for the next 21 days, and then 8 p.m. to 12 noon, 16 hours for the next 21 days. So you go into 3 cycles of 21 days where you progressively improve the number of hours. Okay, but the maximum benefit is achieved if you could observe about 16 hours of fasting daily. Imagine you do this on a daily basis. You're going to reverse your age, your energy, your vibrancy very, very significantly. Anyone can do this, okay? Unless you got some kind of organ failure, you are experiencing some kind of say if you had a bypass, or you had certain organs removed in your body, then you got to be mindful. You should consult a physician to do before you embark on this exercise. Otherwise, if you're normal and you are having a normal well-being and you're living a life where you can handle yourself and you're fine, you're on a very limited number of medications, you can actually embrace this fasting. Okay, so we come to an end of our session today. Yeah, and now anyone has got a question, anyone has got a suggestions or anything to ask, unmute yourself and ask. Yeah, I'll try and answer any questions you may have. Yes, Binay, and what you shared that is about the 52 diet. True, it is also similar to that. Okay. Anyone, any questions?
Doc.
Yes.
A lot of people say not to drink milk anymore. because it's pasteurized.
Yes.
Do you know much about Indian milk?
Okay. Those others, can you unmute? Mute yourself while I'm just addressing because there's feedback. Yeah. Okay. The Indian milk, they claim that is the A2 milk, which is from the Desi cow, which is very beneficial. It's also very challenging to find it in India itself. So
Mm-hmm.
very challenging to get them in Singapore as well. But I do see certain packet milks which is called the A2 milk. But milk is as it is, right? You're going to drink a copious amount to get a small amount of calcium from your milk. So is it really beneficial for you to have milk on a daily basis? No, it is not really beneficial. You can get all the essential calcium and all the essential nutrients from your root vegetables and dark green leafy vegetables. So don't really need to drink milk, okay? But if you have to, then you try not, because the commercial milk that you get out there from the commercial farms, they are injected with luteinizing hormones to help the cow to lactate even before, where you don't really need to go into pregnancy and lactate, yeah, and that all kinds of antibiotics and growth hormones that are being injected to cows, and they all get transferred to the milk that you're drinking, and it's going to affect you in many ways. So not a healthy thing to have. Yeah, because the cows that also that is being bred in many commercial farms are that Jersey cows. They call it J. It starts with the letter J. Jersey cows. They are crossbreeds, yeah, and they produce a lot of milk. Okay, they produce a lot of milk and a lot of meat as well, but they're not really beneficial for human use.
You also recommended raw foods just now, you know, like raw tomatoes and all that. Are they good for everyone?
Not necessarily. They're not good for everyone because we are all creatures of habit. We tend to be eating the same kind of food. So what also happens in that process is that you lose a lot of enzymes in your digestive system. So if you go into a habit of eating raw food immediately, you don't have the enzymes to digest that. So it's good to ease into it. So eat steam food and slowly try eating some raw food, because if you go straight away into raw food, your tummy is going to be very, very upset and you will feel very uncomfortable, right? So eat steam food or stir-fried food, but raw food slowly ease into it. But you can benefit by taking some good probiotics, and that's going to recolonize your digestive system with all the essential enzymes and bacteria that will aid your digestion as well. But you got to ease into it now, yeah. But detox first, remove the toxins, and you find that your the probiotics and the enzymes will work more effectively. And if you should you choose to eat some raw foods, they become very beneficial. But you got to wash the pesticides off your raw foods when you're eating them.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Yes. Right.
Doctor, one question.
Okay.
How about the leftover rice? You pour water overnight, and then next day you drink it as you know, they say it's very rich in vitamin B and you know, probiotic and all that. Is it true?
They have some probiotics in them. They are beneficial. Rice, you know, parboiled rice. Okay, parboiled rice, where you pour some water and you leave it in the morning. You can add some yogurt to it, and you have them. You can add some
onions.
No, not onions. Onions for taste lah. But you can add some sugars, as in not the refined sugars, but you can add some natural sugars like coconut sugar, palm sugars. Yeah, and they got some enzymes, and so you give it a good mix, and then you can take it as a drink in the morning, and it's beneficial for you. It gives you some enzymes and some probiotics. It's not a complex one, but some which is still beneficial for your body.
Thank you.
Zainal, you have a question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask. You mentioned just now about taking half a lemon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm told that the local lime the limau costuri, you know,
Yes.
they use for is good because it's a local, is Southeast Asian variety. Lemon is something tropical, right? So
Yes.
I was told that we should eat more of the local variety of the same, you know, like lemon. So is it true that lime is as good as lemon?
They got they are slightly variant. They're slightly different. Calamansi, the small lemon that
Calamansi.
we use in
Yeah,
sambal and
yeah.
but if you have it at night, you end up with a lot of cough. It's
Yeah.
good to have them on the daytime. It
Daytime,
has got some benefit, but lemon, as it is scientifically studied the powerful antioxidants, the lemon in the lemon has got benefited, and it has been proven that in science they observed that it starts to work with your liver cells and regenerate the liver to a healthy liver. So you got to eat organic lemon, not
So
the
you
ones
have to,
the commercial, the spray pesticide and all. Yeah.
so you have to chew the
Rind as
meat.
well. You got to eat with the skin.
Wow, wow,
The
okay.
flesh is quite challenging. 90
Yeah,
days. Do
it's
it for
very
90
tough.
days. I've done this with some of my cancer patients who has got liver cancer, and the liver start to become more stable, and they become much healthier. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the skin is very tough.
It is very challenging to eat them, but get used to it.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
can blend them, right? We can.
No, you got to chew it. You got to chew it and eat it because it's got to interact with your saliva and your subliminals. The brain takes all the essential signal and prepares your body to receive it. So it does all the repair, right? That's why you got to chew it and eat it. You can't drink it, gulp it down, let the stomach do the work. It doesn't. It becomes more stressful for your body.
Did you say earlier that before doing this, you should detox your liver?
Yes, you got to detox. You got to try and eliminate the toxins. So we use some herb teas. You can use corianders. You can use a variety like taking triphala and all this kind of stuff to detox, and French beans. You go on a juice fast or something like that, so that it's easier and it doesn't stress your liver. If you do not detox and you go in this process, what also happens is your liver is an emotional center. So you become very, very irritable.
How long you need to do?
Do it for about 14 days. Is good enough to ease your liver significantly.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, last two questions. Anyone? Tenmolia, Dr. Tenmoli. So you have some question. I see your hand.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes.
Thank you, Doctor. Very useful information shared. A lot of new things we learned. Doctor, regarding the water,
Yes.
have you heard of this terahertz
Yes.
energized water? What do you think about it?
I've received some information. Somebody has been talking about it's a new thing in the market, and they use a device to energize the water, and they're seeing a lot of changes. So I have not experienced it myself. I'm meeting someone tomorrow who's going to share some information about this water. So I will know tomorrow, and probably I will experience it tomorrow. But you can give it a try. If you can give it a try, if it's going to support you and help you, so give it a go. But it's not purely proven. There are many other devices that are out there. You can even use terahertz crystals. You can throw them into your water, and it's supposed to energize your water and drink it as well. So
I see. So there is a report
many
that
ways,
it works.
yeah, there are many ways to do it. Yeah, you can try. Yeah, it's basically energizing your water to a certain frequency. So you can have that. You can give it a try.
Any water do you, thank you, Doctor. Any water you recommend, Doctor? So something like alkaline water,
If
Kangen
it's an
water?
alkaline water, I use Kangen water in my home. It is beneficial. It is medically proven, and a lot of studies has been done about it as well. So it also microclusters and increases the oxygen in your water. So it's good to have
So
that.
it is proven, Doctor. It's proven.
There's a lot of
Kangen.
studies have been done, and it has helped a lot of people as well. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's beneficial to drink it, and but for a variety of reasons, it doesn't help everybody. If it's helping everybody, then the whole world would have been a better place.
Yeah.
But for some people, due to the levels of toxins they have, they may be interacting significantly. But many have benefited from it. Yeah, if you need help, come and have a chat with me, because I can help you with the content.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. One more question, anyone? Valerie, do you have a question? No? You got to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I don't really have a question yet.
Okay. So was
Yeah.
it beneficial for you? Did you benefit from the session today?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So
Yeah, thanks for the session.
no
I'm
worries.
glad
Yeah,
to hear.
thank you. So we come to a close of this session. I will edit and I'll try and put this on the YouTube so that you can watch it and you can see it yourself. So thank you very much. Live healthy, and sorry that I took a little longer than what I should. And thank you for patiently hanging around and hearing the whole session. And what I would encourage you to do is, if you can send me some testimonials about this session, you can put it on my Facebook, or you can send it to me personally. If you can send a video testimonial, it will be even good, which may encourage other people to benefit and experience and come and join us. Next week I would be addressing about millets. How to therapeutically use millets in your well-being. So I will send you some information soon. And this is like literally using millets to heal yourself. And millets are superfoods that goes right to your DNA level to repair you. So I'll see you next Sunday. If you're joining us, it's about millets and all the different types of millets and the therapeutic benefits of millets. So thank you, and have a good evening. Have a wonderful week ahead, and see you soon. Bye. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you, Doctor.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.